Beautiful. So thank you for being with us. Those of you who are new, my name is Michael Mirdad, and I serve here as part of the spiritual leadership. And it is our custom to ask what topics are dear to you, what topics are important to you and ready, that you're ready to hear more about for yourself or people in your life that you're wanting to shine some more light and you want to know how. What topics are most important? Yes, dear.
DNA activations and the crystalline structure of the new earth.
Is that all?
Reinventing yourself.
Okay, hold on one sec.
In a nutshell.
Well, the fact that you raised your hand automatically makes me want to address your topic. I'm kidding. Yes.
Reinventing yourself.
Yes, sir.
Choose again.
Okay. Yes. Now you're all raising your hand. This is so polite. Usually it's just boom, 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 boom. Fire hydrants. Just people just throw out these random words. So let's do yes.
Self-abuse.
Yes.
The essential divine keynote of beauty.
Okay.
Sustainable living projects.
Projects, did you say?
Sustainable living projects.
What's projects? Yes. Okay, one sec. Yeah.
The Gnostic interpretation of how Jesus really prayed.
What did you guys do this weekend? Just like on ayahuasca all weekend. So we've shown up with all these out there trippy, deep topics. Yes?
Health challenges.
Okay. Yeah.
Ego heckling and harassment.
Wow. Okay. Yes?
Managing stress.
Yeah. For the folks online, topics as usual. What? Yes?
Total awareness.
Okay. That's good. Thank you. So for the folks online, topics ranging a lot from reinventing self, DNA activation and crystalline structure of Earth, essential keynote of beauty, sustainable living projects, the Gnostic interpretation of prayers of Jesus. Wow, a lot of things. And there's a common theme in all of them, and it's unique depth. See, I'm not saying depth of what kind. I'm saying if you feel those topics, there's wow, we're really going somewhere today. And we always do. It's just, you can just tell wow. It's very important to remember that there's generally, the threes in life are so key, the number 3. And the threes in life, people are typically asleep, or they're waking, or they're awake. And a lot of people go, yeah, I'm awake. No. If you're awake, you won't say that you're awake. Be humble and just recognize asleep or waking. And sometimes back to asleep again today, 5 times, and awakening 10 times. It's a little bit of both when you're on the spiritual path. There are still people totally asleep. No clue that there's any hope. No clue that they need hope. No clue that there's anything beyond this world. Those are people that are asleep. They're still people. They're still souls. There are souls in them that might ascend faster than the people that are half awake, but slowly awakening. You never know. A person can hit bottom and completely springboard awake. But generally, there are people asleep. Let's assume that if you're watching a program like this, it's not likely that that is your go-to place. It's not likely that that's your constant, your thing, okay? Waking is more likely where most of us reside. Asleep, waking, and awake. Awake means ascended master level of consciousness and so on. But another way to know where you are in these, are you surviving? Are you living, or are you thriving? And again, people go, well, I definitely am thriving. No. You're probably living better than you were when you were just surviving. Why am I shooting down the idea of the top one, awake and thriving? Because that doesn't come from your efforts. That doesn't come from how many books you've read, how many meditations, journeys, spiritual journeys, groups. The top one, interestingly enough, this is us being messed up. This is us working on ourselves. And this is the effects of having worked on yourself. Not that you made this happen. What I'm saying is, in our spiritual growth, we go from asleep to awake, becoming waking up. We go into waking up, which is also from surviving to living. So it's a better life. Things are improving. How do you do this? Well, surviving, if you don't see it, very obvious. The simplest way to know survival is addiction. I'm not saying addiction's bad. No, you know what? It's helping you survive, but you're not alive. You see? Alive is when I can sustain myself through the compulsions, obsessions, and addictions of life. You're not a bad person because you're obsessive. You're just wounded. And obsessing is how you think you survive. But you're never really thriving, obviously, but you might think you are. So surviving means just getting by. Surviving can be living in poverty, but it's not the dollar amount, because you can be hanging out at the yacht club with other survivors, still not getting it. So there are people on earth and they're just getting by, is what surviving means. Just getting by. Addiction, compulsion and obsessing of every kind. Just getting by. They're like what I call the walking dead, because they look alive. They might be looking alive homeless. They might be looking alive billionaires, but they're not alive. They're just surviving. Don't assume having stuff means you're not surviving, you're thriving. This is not the context of this talk. This is not the context of what we do here and what we share here. So what am I doing? I'm one of the people that are asleep and barely getting by, just surviving. I have anxiety. To survive that, I have to take something, drugs, alcohol, sex, food, whatever it is, addiction, or compulsive thinking. To get by with my anxiety, I have to have stuff that calms me down. What if I'm already calm so much that I have depression? To survive, I need things that pick me up. Even people are an addiction when you need them to make you feel better about yourself. You're just surviving. Now, in that context, A Course in Miracles, so deep, the teachings of the Course. But it's hard to realize how deep those teachings are, because there's so many words. There's so many pages. Like if Jesus would have checked in with me when he wrote that, I would have said, dude, throw in some pictures or something. Just throw in some drawings, man. Just throw in something to so where we can rest, instead of just boom, 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 But he didn't ask, so that's okay. But the idea is so deep that it's saying, even when we're sick, it's a cry for help. Human beings look with their eyes and they think that person does not have money. That person does not have health issues, whatever it happens to be. So we actually think that our job, once we get on the path, is we learn to help them. I want to help that person. Let me give them money because they don't have any. I want to rub their shoulders because they're stressed, and so on. Those are all well intended. But as soon as you answer, a cry of health issue, financial issue, you're actually still affirming that it exists. The issue is not the money or the health. We don't have bodies. It's just a hologram. So if I feel I'm undeserving of my oneness with God, it'll manifest in all kinds of forms. And then to live, I have to survive. I have to claw at things. Even getting you to rub my shoulders is an act of survival. Is that bad? No. Thank God I made it through another day. But I'm not thriving. I'm not even at the living level. I'm just surviving. So what do we do? Do we say no to money needs and health needs and so on? I'm not saying that at all. What's interesting is, but do you answer it at that level? Do you answer it at the level it's being given to you? Because then you're affirming that there is a problem and it is their health. Help them, rub their shoulders. But in our minds, we're supposed to be saying, brother, sister, write them a check, do what you're doing. But at the same time, beloved brother, sister, in this moment, I'm affirming that we are still in the hands of God. My shoulder rub is only an act of bridging. My verbal advice, my writing a check, do those things. But what we were told by Jesus himself, seek first the kingdom, the rest follows. Answer at the higher, deeper level, and the rest comes to you. You asked about Gnostic prayers of Jesus, so this is in that context. Jesus didn't say, wow, Lazarus, you're dead, huh? Wow, that's bad. That's going to take some extra powerful prayer. Hold on. I got to really ramp up my Jesus powers. That would mean that Jesus saw death as having more power than a cold. And that's okay, better than nothing because you're wanting to help. But being awake means, oh my God, I see now. I see now. The most important thing is kindness. My love to put hands on a brother, sister, the love is what heals them, not your hands. Not even your extra powerful, multi-dimensional Reiki session. All that is bridging. Use it though, use it. Gemstones, use them. Don't think that an aspirin or a gemstone fixes anything. Not even your verbal advice, but my advice is brilliant. Not even your verbal advice. All of these are means of taking a person from survival level to living. You're helping them come back to life. You have not taken them to ascension because you cannot. That's God's role. So what happens is people surviving live in the lower three chakras. People living are learning to live in their hearts. And of course, people in spiritual groups go, oh, that's me, because I'm totally living in my heart. I know. You're amazing. You're amazing. And even if you are living in your heart, and if you are, God bless you, or if it's your intention to do so, God bless you. What I'm saying is when you live here long enough, sincerely enough, deeply enough, what happens next to enter thriving is not going to be, well, I did enough good here that, I now earned the next level. You don't earn God. It already is. When I've lived enough in my heart in a state of love, God says, wow, I see you're getting it. Yes, your will be done. And God's will be to reach down into your heart and soul and lift you to the next level up. It's not done by our means, not our thinking, not our accomplishments. It's not. It's living in our hearts. This is living. This is thriving, living in the heavens. But that's not done by us. That's not a breathwork technique. It's not specific herbal combinations. It isn't even like just good karma. It isn't. There's no doing involved with this state of being. This is what I remember I am. But I live the remembrance in my hearts by showing other people what they deserve. So down here, I'm barely surviving. I'm clawing for anything so I can stay alive. When I learn to take, even if I'm just surviving, but I've got billions of dollars, that must show that I'm thriving. No, you're still surviving. You will not know that you moved from survival level to living level till whatever you have on your survival level, whether it's healing addiction or whether it's billions of dollars, till you share it, it's not living. You are not alive until you share what you have. You're still subtly in survival mode when you have to hold on to everything because it shows you're just surviving. I'm not just surviving, I got billions, but you hold on to it, which means you're afraid, and fear is related to survival. Survival of the fittest. Think about that. What does that mean? That means those who are the strongest overcome the weakest. So which are you? The weak or the survival of the fittest ones, the ones that make it? And people will actually decide which one they want. Well, I want to be the survival. I wouldn't if I were you. I wouldn't pick either one. I don't want to be the one who gets stomped on because I'm weak, nor do I want to stomp on the weak. I don't know. Show me, God. And then you get taken up to new levels of consciousness. But humans, they live off this survival of the fittest, and it's heartbreaking when you start to see this, because you start to realize how scared everybody is. We can talk peace and love and harmony in the world. All you need is an election to come up, and all of a sudden everybody hates again. All you need is a Super Bowl, and everybody starts polarizing. Just something where there's a this and a that, and you better be this one so that you're not that one. Or be that one so you're not this one. Everybody gets polarized. And this is happening a lot in the world. And I can see the fear people have to say, I'm going to stay in the center, in my center, in God. I can see that people are afraid, not only to say that because now you've got two groups hating you instead of just one, but also it's the unknown. To say in an election, in a ball game, and whatever, even if it's something you're dealing with your own children, and it's polarized, they want you to do something you don't think is right to do, but they're going to be mad if you don't. Oh my God, those are my children. What am I going to do? You do this. You do your best to stay here. Centered living is living, not surviving. Survival is the duality and the polarity that people keep trying to pull all of us into. So if someone says, yeah, survival must have its benefits, well, not really. Even having goals, accomplishments, is just another act of survival. Because deep down, just like the person saying, I'm anxious, I need something to calm me down. To survive, I need something to calm me down. It's survival. But accomplishments, I don't feel good if I'm not accomplishing something. It still means that's how I survive. If I don't accomplish something, I'm going to have to face low self-worth. And that'll crush me. So to survive my tendency towards low self-worth, I need to come up with something to do, some accomplishment, whether it's having children or whether it's a license, that you get in some career, whatever it happens to be. Still thriving is missing. You're not even living. So how do I reach thriving? Long story short, survival is anything you do of this world to get by another day. Thriving is nothing to do. It has nothing to do with anything in this world that can make your day better. It's only your relationship with God. How do I shift from surviving to living? Well, the most important step there is have a relationship with God. Call it the Holy Spirit, call it Jesus, whatever. Have a relationship with God. That's the most important thing, to go from survival to living. And you might think, but I am alive. You're not. You're the walking dead. You just think you're alive because you made it through another day. Oh, look, another year. That's not living yet. Living is like shifting from a nightmare to a happier dream, but you're still dreaming. Living. It's definitely positive. Now, people can be in a survival mode and create a pretend living level, even a pretend thriving, but they're not. If you're not sharing, which is the second step, if you're not sharing what you're gaining in your life, look at me, I'm getting a raise at work, prosperity is changing, I've got a better car, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That means, it could mean that your survival level is just polished up a little nicer. You have more money, you have a better car. Good. You're still in survival mode. You just polished it. You went to the car wash with the car. It just looks a little nicer, but you're surviving until you start sharing what you've achieved. I got more money. How much do you give? I've got more time. How much do you give? Got a really cool car. What do you do with it? Oh, just drive by the lesser, and give them my royal wave. You're not alive. You just think you are. And I've shared this story before, but my dad had a lot of money. He didn't give us much at all, but he had money that he used for him and his friends, but it was the strangest thing. But even though he's married to my mom, she never got any. So he had money. So he had all kinds of cars, limousine, Rolls Royce, all these kinds of things. So somehow he would occasionally make the mistake of letting me drive one of them. And I say mistake facetiously, but it'd be like, go get the limousine washed or something. He had people that would do it, but he sometimes had me do it. So I'm not going to just go to the car wash with a limousine or whatever car it is. My mind was always, how can I share this? And so one of the weird ones was seeing somebody stuck in a ditch where there was too much water and they stalled. So with the limousine, I pulled up behind them and just pushed their bumper through. It's not a tow truck. I shouldn't be using it for that. But I can't not do that. When Jesus is gone for a bit and his parents are like, where could he be? Jesus, they finally found him. That's where they invented the word Jesus. His name was actually John, Jake, but that's where they coined that. Jesus, where were you? I like that. So he went with that name. Anyway, where were you? And he's like, where do you think I'm going to be? You know who I am. Where do you think you're going to find me? In a bar? No. What do you think you're going to find me? You're going to find me with people into spirituality. And that's how I was. What do you think I'm going to do with the car? I'm going to give people rides. Now, I'm not saying I went way out irresponsibly, hundreds of miles away and just look for people that want rides. All I'm saying is, in the moment, I just stayed open. Even as a kid, I just stayed open. Here I was all of 18-ish. But my mind was like that. Oh, look, somebody needs a ride. Give them a ride. Hey, but you're driving a Rolls Royce. What's that got to do with it? My mind was thinking, it's not just a car that I'm giving a ride. Why am I seeing a difference between a Rolls Royce or whatever other car? It's not just that. It's something happens when someone you can tell, has no prosperity and gets to ride in the back of a limousine for no reason whatsoever. You follow what I'm saying? You let people feel valued. Show them that they have value. Show them. Give them an extra minute of your time. Now, I'm not saying do things you can't afford to do financially or romantically or physically or emotionally, energetically. I'm not saying be a rescuer, but I am saying whatever you can afford. You just won $1,000 in some scratch-off ticket at the store, and you're in Walmart shopping for whatever people shop in Walmart for, and you notice the pharmacy line, there's some 180-year-old person who can't afford a prescription. Go give them $50 out of your $1,000 winning. Why not? And they will ask you, which is sad that they start to think something's wrong. Am I on candid camera? Is this am I being, what do they call it? Punked? Am I being punked? This is a ploy. You're wanting something. You're selling something. It's sad that they would even go there, but just already know they might go there and be prepared with an answer because you deserve it and walk away. Because drop a beautiful hint of some kind. Because God told me to give it to you. Now that starts to get people tripping out a little bit. Oh, somebody who's hearing the voice of God telling them to give me money. They might think next they're going to do something really freaky. You have to be careful and use discretion. What is God asking me to say to the person? Because you seem like a great person. Something that leaves them better than they were before they met you. What are you doing? That is what takes you to living. So people can say, and I have said something along the lines, when you go from being just an average human being and you start developing what I call mastery consciousness. That's shifting from lower centers to the heart. That is more like living. But mastery involves seeing things more clearly, being a better at multitasking, being better at this, that, and the other. But one of them is learning to receive inspirations, not compulsions, inspirations. You start, instead of just your head going, I got to do this. Oh, I better watch out for that. I got to pretend this. I got to fake that. I got to, fix this, all that manic stuff, monkey mind, as the Buddhist calls it, to mastery, where it might look like you have lots of thoughts, but they're calmer and they're inspirational. They're inspiring. They're usually about the greater good, not your worries. That's surviving. I have to think a lot. Why? Because I got to make sure everything's going okay. I'm sorry for you. Do you see what I mean by that? Like if I have to just, it's like A Course in Miracles says, you have so much thinking and planning, and there's a reason. Why? Because I'm brilliant? All my ideas are great? No. Because you have to plan so much and think so much and worry so much because you think it's going to keep the world from collapsing on you. So thank God you're there, man. But you know what that implies? That God isn't. What am I going to do if I just start trusting God? Come on. Keep your feet on the ground here, folks. We think it's not practical to have trust in the divine. People think that. They say it all the time. It's just airy-fairy or whatever. No. One of you asked about reinventing self, and that's what this is about. Going from your old self to the new self. I'm alive. You seem different. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you seeing that. Well, what's different? You don't have to over-explain. You just in, at least in your mind, know this, although you might use this wording, I just feel alive now. Are you perfect? No. Then I'd be all the way up, man, just completely blissed out, thriving. No, I'm alive. Now, some of you think, yeah, but I want to get to the thriving level. Stop. Believe it or not, when you rise by God's hand to the level of thriving, you're so illuminated that you wouldn't be as helpful to some people who still need a 3D person to talk to. You just be like, can I share some problems with you? There are no problems. It's all God. Yeah, but I have an issue. I have a broken leg. Can you help me get to the hospital? You don't even have a body. Don't you get it, man? It's all spirit. We need you here. So don't think that thriving means you're left out. Living is right. It's the right place to be. When you need to be higher, you'll be drawn higher, organically by the hand of God. Don't worry, don't think, don't plan. I've been living now for 16 weeks, and I should be reaching that thriving level anytime now. Just stop, because all you're doing is going back to survival, fear-based survival level, when you're trying so hard to be at the thriving level. And even questions like sustainable living projects, that's all the matrix, the blueprint of learning to live. Sustainable living, not sustainable surviving. What's the difference? When you are a survivalist and you have foods and grains and you're storing food in sustainable living and alternative levels of energy, out of fear, it's survivalist. But alternative living needs to come from inspirations. You see the difference? The calm. You can still store up food. Oh, but that proves that there's no trust in God. How do you know? If my heart is receiving guidance to put some food in a can, do it. Who can tell you otherwise? You're being guided. That's sustainable living. It's living sustained, not surviving. Sustained, like maintained. It's beautiful. And even asking about stress, forgive yourself. Look at why you're stressed. Whether it's about the condition of the world, duality, politics, food, future, and so on. That's all clearly survival stuff. How do I learn to turn that all into living? here I'm stressed and here I'm not. How do I get there? It's not going to be a food, a drug, a technique. It's going to be, I see that stress was my old self when I was barely surviving. Stress was my belief that I am separate from love, from God. So I was stressed because I didn't know what to do about it, how to fix it, how to repair it, how to get to a better life. And I'm learning another word. It's called acceptance. I am as God created me. And when I see stress, I don't go, oh, there it is again. I blew it. I must be doing bad. No, just go, oh, you again. Yeah, I was once married to you. I'm pretty sure we got a divorce. Why are you still looking me up and finding my house? I divorced you, stress. Bid it farewell. You're still going to have it once in a while. In this world, there will be suffering, Jesus said. Well, that's just not a very good master. He should have said, no, I fix it all. I'm going to fix it all right now. Just say, boom, shakalaka, and stresses will fade away immediately. No, how weird. How weird that Jesus goes, oh, challenges and tribulations, you're going to always have those. Anybody there would have gone, what? Then why are we bothering? He says, because I'm telling you about a change in here, not here. In here, you learned to create a world out here that is a mirror of separation from love, from God, from oneness, from peace, from joy. So you know what you did? And thank God you did. You found a way to get by. And then you became addicted to getting by. It became your new pattern. How you doing, children? Oh, just getting by. You die, go to the other side, and some of you have, near-death experience, and you see the light, and great experiences some people have. But at the end of the day, it all ends up the same. How was it? I was just getting by. That's what it is. How did you end up here? Well, I did this or I did that, and I was struggling with this relationship, illness, and so on and so on. Those are all survival symptoms. So the holiness on the other side, God, masters, or whatever, they're going to say, how are you doing? And the answer isn't great. I was in a total state of thriving, one with God. That's not typically going to be your answer. You could say, thinking, well, I think I was living, and they'll know immediately by how much you're here and not here. How much stress do you have? They'll do a stress test, and they'll know, ooh, you're a survivor, huh? Yeah, boy, I really fought to survive. That's stressful. Sorry to hear that. Wow. Cortisol levels are high, adrenaline fatigue. Wow, it must be hell. Yes, it is. And that's what we did to this world. We took a place that could have mirrored paradise consciousness, and we turned it into a place that mirrors fear-based consciousness. I'm separate from God, so this is what I'm going to see. Separation. All these people fighting in politics, all the people fighting health needs and so on and so on, money, no money, all of these people, they're all living in fear, based in just surviving. They're all just getting by. And you and I shouldn't be praying for them and their problems. You can do that. That's one level of prayer. God, I see a lot of troubled people. Now, I'm going to tell you a funny way to look at this. On one level, humans are going to go, look how sincere I am. Hold on, I'm going to squeeze out a tear too. Now it proves that I'm caring about other human beings. Look at the suffering. Oh, these poor people. And just, you can't wrong me. I'm praying for, starving children. I'm praying for war, people affected by war. Praying. Barely, if any, effect comes from that. Because what you're saying is, there's a problem, fix it. That's what your prayers are secretly saying to God. What we should be saying is not, I'm praying for everybody who's got problems and I'm sitting here praying. They're all a mirror of me. I'm praying for us, not them. I'm praying for us because we're one. I'm praying that we all get past hatred. I'm praying that we all get past war, duality, lack, illness. See, the Hawaiian ho'oponopono technique of prayer and healing is, in summary, it's a prayer of forgiveness. That's what we have to do. Not fix that person with a broken leg. It's forgive us for believing in broken legs. Jesus entered this state of consciousness that he maintained permanently, and it was Christ consciousness. Now, he actually is up here. He attained this thing, this thriving, this oneness with God. And he could have just said, I'm just going to stay in this bliss. But you know what he did? He said, no, I want to descend all the way down to the people surviving, all the way to the 3D people that hate. They're going to beat me up. They're going to crucify me. That takes a lot to go from bliss to all this. But he did so for a reason, because he's saying, if I can show you how to maintain divine consciousness, even in the worst 3D conditions, then I know you'll be able to hear me more clearly when I try to get you to take the divine into the heart. I don't even ask you to go all the way to the 3D level. Pray that the 3D level is released through what? Forgiveness. Then you'll be living in your heart by forgiving others. It's not just giving to others, forgiving others. Forgive everything, and you're rising into your heart. It's one of the primary means of getting here. It isn't actually by the number of books. Now, I will say, yes, doing the motivational workshops, conferences, things like that, doing all these things that tell you how to improve your life, they all help, but they only give you the blueprint. Until you live it, it's not living. You got the blueprint at a conference, in a book. Oh, look, techniques on how to, but are you doing it? So you know how to breathe more deeply and alter your parasympathetic system, blah, 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 blah. Are you any nicer at the end of the day? Okay, that's what it comes down to. I would do these 5-day retreats in the old days when I had a retreat and we could do 5-day intensives. When the people left, almost always, I asked them, not only in this room, from the time you leave here, I want you to remember, at the airport, you're different. And people are going to notice you. Your frequency is different. Whether the workshop was on Christ consciousness, mastery, whatever it happened to be, you're different now. And I was meaning it. Their whole countenance, their whole aura, everything was different. And I would say, be responsible. Walk in, people are going to notice you. What do you do with it? Shine your light. Show them love. At the end of the day, be loving. Let people know they have value. You're welcome to go ahead of me in line. You see? Like, it's okay. Give room for people. Be giving. Because if you're giving, you're living. And it's like, this is where the rubber meets the road. Some people use that phrase. This is where the application comes in. This is where it integrates. You learn it, but you have to integrate it by applying it. So learn and apply, and you become. Whatever you're hearing about, prosperity, and wow, I definitely am raising my prosperity level. How much are you giving? Are you tithing? Well, no, because you never know. Survivalist. You see what I mean by that? They've got more money, but they're still in survival mode. And lots of people are like that. The person who has seeming almost like phobias or triggers related to affection. You know, I saw that guy over there and that gal, after service, they hugged and held each other, and there were some tears, and they don't even know each other. I think that's inappropriate. I'm sorry for you, because it tells us something about you. Well, they could be up to something. Yeah, that's what's happening over there. And it could be. And if that were the case and it derails, just call it out and say, oops, sorry about that. You know, and they should correct that with themselves, because anything can happen. But try trusting in trust. Try loving love. You know, come out somewhere. And if a spiritual center, 2 people hugged for too long, or if it was 2 males, God forbid, you know, there are centers out there where that's just too much for them. It's just freaky. It's like, wow. But people still think this way. And forgive them, they know not what they do. And your action would vary from person to person, but it should be loving. Not just loving standing up for the 2 males hugging, but even loving the person who's judging the 2 males hugging. You should be loving them as much as the 2 males hugging that you appreciate. Do you see what I mean by that? All of them. Don't try to fix all of it in your prayers. Hold that it is already okay. I just don't see it yet. Why don't I see it? There must be something for me to give, because when I forgive, the veils drop. See, that's the key right there. Veils come from opinions and judgments, from lack and limitation, and all of that falls away with practice of forgiveness. So we shift into the concept of, coming to life. God, I feel alive. I feel joy. Now, sharing the joy brings more joy. Sharing the love brings more love. And sharing prosperity. Sharing these things that you, as a survivor, never thought you could have. But they start coming in because you're doing workshops and books and so on. But all they're doing is giving you the matrix of something. But you might still say, I feel different on the outside. My life is improving. But I still don't feel this sustainable joy and peace and happiness. Understandable. Why? Because it means you heard about it, you have the matrix of it here awakening in your heart, but it's not being lived yet. How do you live it? How can I help you today? How can I bring you more joy today? How can I bring you peace today? And on that note, it's not like the average person out there is saying, listen, I just don't feel joy today. Is there something you could do to help me? No, it doesn't always take that form. It takes the form of somebody getting out of their car with a beer bottle in hand, a cigarette in the other, bam, on your door, your new car door, bam. And oh, what is that? Bam, 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 bam. 15 times. You're like, stop hitting my car door. Well, it was after 10 times that I hated him. But, at least I was patient. It doesn't matter what they're doing. They kick you. It doesn't matter what they do. It's all a cry for help. You don't say, well, no, some things are acceptable cries for help. You can say that. Here's what happens. Some things are cries that are worthy of love. Some things are not. What happens is there's now some parts of you that are not. By determining there's some things that are not worthy of love and forgiveness, you determined there are parts of you that are not worthy of love and forgiveness. Oh man, you're kidding. Well, then I've really messed up. Even all my spiritual practices, all my meditations, I did healing visualization. I went to a 30-day seminar where we did healing visualization. And now you're telling me it was all a waste. No, just some of it. The parts that you didn't complete with love and forgiveness. Fine, okay, then I got to practice love and forgiveness more. Listen, if it's that hard of work, then it's not sincere. Well, then what do? Forgive yourself. Go there. Forgive yourself for thinking some people are unforgivable. You don't have to forgive them yet. I'm telling you, work on yourself and you'll find that the effort you thought it was going to take to forgive others is no longer as intense as it was, because you lightened the load in the only place you can actually, which is within yourself. So something changes. Asking about self-abuse. What is self-abuse? It's survival. I'm so angry at the world. I'm so angry at God, self, and others, the condition I'm living in. So I self-abuse. Doesn't matter if it's, health, lack of health, nutrients, the lack of nutrients. Doesn't matter if it's drugs, alcohol, sex addiction, whatever it is. They're all forms of self-abuse, but it's still a cry for love. Just like you would say, I saw someone that was suffering and I went into deeper prayer and then deeper, and then something really beautiful happened. I just felt this wash of love for that person, and I think it's going to change their life. Do that for yourself. Do that for yourself in any instance, in any opportunity. It's really weird because sometimes we think it's narcissistic to be talking about ourselves and wanting to heal our stuff. No, actually, it makes you have more room within for others. Heal your own triggers, and you'll find that the triggers of others fade proportionately, even exponentially. So we get to a place of awakening here. We're waking up. I'm not completely awake and I don't care. Remember that. Have a good attitude about that. Be proud that you're not completely awake yet. Now that sounds weird because you're in Sedona. And everybody here is clearly completely awake. How can they be when they still, hate each other in any way, shape, or form? So, you still have people cutting in lines and it's strangeness, right? But those are just the visitors. Tourists, you know how they are. The rest of us are enlightened because we live here. But if you're only renting, you're only semi-enlightened. You see? It's just all ridiculousness. Just be comfortable and proud to say, wow, I'm waking. And you're going to have people go, really? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man, because I'm totally awake. Don't say anything. You're going to be tempted. You're going to be tempted, but don't say anything. Just say, yeah, and I'm very comfortable with just that I'm still waking. It's okay. Because the chances are the other's not real, especially if they're boasting it. And who cares? All I know is I'm waking. I feel really great as a person, as a soul. Man, I do. I say it this way, it sounds boasting, but it's actually awe and excitement. I feel great. My connections, my prayers, my meditations, visions I receive, it's really a trip being inside this person here. It is a trip. I feel so great, and I am absolutely okay to say, and I'm waking. I don't go, well, but I've written 10 books, but I have audiences. It must mean I'm awake. I don't care. I'm waking. It's beautiful. It's the perfect state of mind, attitude to have. I'm waking. It allows for error. It allows for improvement. Because if you think you're awake and you make a mistake, you're going to crucify yourself for it. You see? Don't put that pressure on yourself. I'm just waking. Mistakes, yeah, I still make them. And you know the difference between the survivalist and the living person here is I forgive myself when I see it happening. I apologize and make amends. Apologize and make amends. You live from that place as best you can. It's beautiful. The person who's just lost in addiction and compulsion of whatever kind, but justifies it, denies it, is still asleep. The one who says, yeah, that's me, you're starting to wake up. Well, how could they be waking up? All they did was admit they have addiction. They still have addiction. But the admitting is waking up. It's thawing out. And sometimes when Novocaine's wearing off, there comes a little ache and pain. That happens. Just accept that. Accept that if you start to realize, yeah, man, you've been a little bit compulsive, when it comes to sharing your body with others or eating too much or whatever, you start to see it. And as you heal and forgive yourself, the weirdest thing happens. The holes start getting plugged in your beliefs about yourself. And all of a sudden you feel fuller and fuller and fuller. Now wait, that means I don't have leaks. Holes, leaks. I don't have any leaks in my being. You know what happens when you don't have leaks? You start to fill up more. And you're filling up with what? It's amazing. Gratitude, generosity. I can't even go to the store without handing $5 to somebody or paying their bill. No, but I don't have money. But do you still wish them love and support? Well, I didn't know that would help. Then you're not alive. You could be absolutely impoverished, but still thrive or live. You could still thrive or semi-thriving. When thriving does happen, I'll start going towards a close here. When thriving does happen, it's going to happen with God saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, here and there. And they're like these epiphanies. Yeah, it's moments of oneness. Yeah, there are moments of absolute bliss. But strangely, you're still going to be asked to take the bliss, and God's going to say, now pack that bliss, pack it up and put some in your canteen. And, I don't need to do that because I'm totally feeling the bliss. I would pack some up if I were you. Why? I feel so much bliss. Why do I need to pack it up? I'm feeling it because you're going back to earth in 2 seconds. You're going to need this in a few days. Your ex is calling in an hour. You're going to need some extra bliss. So remember, just like the Ida Pingala, just like the masculine, feminine energies of the Kundalini, they rise. They don't hang out here forever. People just think the posters, it just shows somebody with crown open and colors, and I want to go there. The picture can't accurately describe. No. This is a moment. Sure, you might even attain it for decently sustained periods, but I'm waking, not awake. So there are moments when I need to take this And it'll, whether it's karma, ego, whether it's triggers, whether it's compulsions, I'm going to be back to earth in a minute. And what happens is those that joined up here in that ball in the caduceus, it looks like enlightenment and the crown's open and all that. All of that, that photo of somebody enlightened is a picture about 1 second before the next thing happens, which they're not, they're like, that's what the picture looks like. It's not this, it's, confusion, furrowed forehead, because after enlightenment, you still have to come back and bring that enlightenment to others. Well, what others? I thought I was past all that. Wow. No, man, there's others that need that light. What did you attain when you rose all the way up? Love, bring love. I had insights and downloads about prosperity, bring it. I had a near-death experience, and on the other side, they told me, everything is in God's hands and everything's going to be okay. Don't stress so much. Tell people about it. Why do you think you had the NDE where you were given guidance of some kind? Everything's okay. What the world needs now is love, sweet love, right? You're a shining star no matter who you are. Got it. You come back, you better tell people that, or you wasted that experience. So the Ida Pingala, they rise, but they become unified. But a second later, not always a literal second later, but at some point, that oneness, Ida and Pingala, they split again. Shakti and Shiva, they split again. And what they do is they come back down to the world of duality and become separated again. So enlightenment could become a depressing thing for some people. I had an insight and I lost it. I had a soulmate friendship and I blew it somehow. But I didn't. And trust me, it's everybody, because in some lifetime you were prosperous, and this time you're not. We lost a lot of the things we could have had or have had in other lifetimes or this lifetime. So reaching enlightenment and having these wonderful gifts from Spirit can be depressing when we fail to use it properly. And when you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, I got it now. So I need to forgive myself. I need to forgive others for thinking that they were either broken or beyond repair, or that they were not worthy of the things I could have given. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. The Ho'oponopono prayer. But also, and Michael, what were you thinking? You had and you said no, and you didn't give and you didn't share. But, I know. What were you thinking? It's time to forgive yourself for that. Forgive yourself for believing in lack and limitation. Forgive the others for like I said, but forgive yourself. Oops, that's all you need to do. It's not, all right, I'm going to take 5 lifetimes of poverty to pay for this. No, right now, I'm done paying for it. You can decide that right now. Learn from the past and let it go. But do learn. Deny it, minimize it, etc., 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 blame it, and you've gained nothing from the past. And therefore, it's still here haunting you. So there's that word you used in one of your questions, keynote, the keynote of beauty. That's right here. It's ultimately God, but in your day-to-day life, there's a keynote right here to beauty, to love, inspiration. Calm down and get to your heart. Okay, there's a technique, a breath word, and an herb that'll get you. No, there's not a heart chakra herb you can take. They might sell you one, but there's not one. It's, are you being loving and forgiving toward yourself and others? That will automatically start drawing you here more organically. Then I feel love and forgiveness, good. Secondly, and what are you doing for others? Are you bringing it? Don't forget your relationship with God is one of the essential steps, but also love and forgiveness and being of service. There's people here that come to Sedona. Oh my God, they'll pay big money I'm going to go to a heart chakra activator. I hope not one of you don't have certified in that, in some Safeway storefront. I don't mean to offend, but there's going to be someone out there. I'm a heart chakra activator. If there is a heart chakra activator, be careful what you pray for, Because if they do have some supernatural power to take your consciousness of survival and just quickly launch you into your heart chakra, everything that is not loving and forgiving is going to be have to looked at instantaneously, which is also known as hell. It's dark night of the soul time. It's a purging process. You have thrown yourself into the fire to purge away base metals. It hurts so much. You're the one with the base metals. But I thought it what? You could escape yourself. Wherever you go, there you are. So be nice. Be loving. Pray for inspirations on how to be present for anybody coming your way today, whatever form that takes. And God bless you, man, because when you do that, one person it's going to be they need a hug, an act of affection. Another, healing hands, hands on. Others, healing hands, hands not on. I don't know. Sometimes it's a word, sometimes it's an act, sometimes it's a prayer. Our job, if we're really getting this training that we seem to be doing through the things we do at the Global Center for Christ Consciousness, it's not a place of just like lectures. This is all an integrated experience. I don't call it all the time like a training. I don't literally level 1, 2, 3, so on and so on, because then we become a thing, a cult of things. We're all doing the same diet and so on. Instead, I'm saying, no, we're not going to do any of that other than let's live the things we're talking about. How you live it is different from the person sitting next to you. So there's no cookie cutter assembly line process to this. All I can do is teach it. And then say, now let's go do it. And we all slip. And how quickly do you bounce back? Oops. They're not always going to say, beloved, I could really use some prayers of joy today. Sometimes they're kicking you. And your job is to say, wow, what is that mirroring about me today? A little self-doubt, deserved kicked. Wow. I'm giving that to you, God, and that's not what I deserve. I'm giving it up. So now I don't have that belief anymore. I'm giving that up. And thank you for bringing that message to me. That will be unnecessary now. And they go to kick you a second time. No, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because I already got the message. And that's where boundaries come in. You gain, you get it, you release the behaviors. And your person that you're married to, and it goes on and on and on, or partnered with, and it goes on to karma stuff, you're allowed to say, I got it. If you say, I got it, the Lord showed me you're a jerk, you don't get it. If you say, I got it, I appreciate things that we shared, but I also see how I've had low self-worth since I was a kid. And I'm looking at that. I'm exploring that and healing that. But I also have to let you know that with the girl or guy inside that has low self-worth is starting to wake up, abuse doesn't work anymore. It doesn't resonate. See, this is a very tactful way of putting them on notice. And then they try it again. Oh, I'm sorry if you didn't understand. I'm not, that's not for me anymore. Oh, who do you think you are? Shh. Get behind me, Satan. You might not want to use those words. But you see what I'm doing there? I am waking up, therefore, acting like I'm in a trance, walking dead. That's gone. That was, yeah, I can see where I was doing that, but that's gone. That's not my goal anymore. That's not my life anymore. So no more. And that's where a healthy boundary is coming in, because it's coming from you choosing your healthiness, your God inside. You're not saying no to them because you don't like them. It's not evaluated on the outside because you differ politically, emotionally, or whatever. It's coming from this really beautiful goal you have in your own aliveness and self-worth. And that's a really strong voice. When you say, I'm coming from here, on some level, people start to realize, man, they're serious. They won't put up with any garbage anymore. But it's not the volume of your voice. It's the clarity and intention, your clear intention to be a different person in here and be living. Please take a few centering breaths. We'll share a brief meditation and our closing prayer. Breathing into our center. Breathing in, hearing the words, I am, And when you exhale, relaxed. And just do that a few times. It's an affirming, but it's also a washing away of stress. I am at peace. Centering and calming. Centering. Calming. Beloved Father, Mother, God, Holy Spirit, Holy Shekinah, Divine Mother, show me in my consciousness, reflect in my heart, where am I still just barely surviving? Show me the areas you want to show me that tell me the areas that I'm going to begin changing and working on. Spontaneously download into my mind, where am I still just surviving, just getting by? Physically, emotionally, financially, romantically. Whatever they are, they're just symptoms. But they're important, so let's look at them. If any of these are reflecting on the outside, yes, I need to make some changes, and I ask for your guidance on where and how to do that, when and to what proportion. I am absolutely open to your guidance on this throughout the next day, week, month, this year. Write it somewhere and make it a commitment to change the frequency of that issue. However, let's also ask, if these things are there, whether it's financial limit, health limits, whatever it is, if you were to put one word or theme behind them, what would it be? For example, what in me could be happening that's bringing about these symptoms? Is it low self-worth? Undeservability? Karma? Guilt, shame? Be honest. Don't minimize it or hide from it. What is the theme behind these issues that make us just survive? If my issue is addiction, why? What am I doing really? What am I believing about myself that I would have this addiction? Well, it helps me get by. How so? Try to look more deeply. And now I'm knowing more clearly, not only the areas that I'm surviving, but the areas where I'm not living fully in my heart and soul. Healing this inner belief is going to make my work on the symptoms, the surviving mechanisms, a lot easier. So I own this. I own this belief, whatever it happens to have been that came up. I get it. I own it. I might not like it. I might wish it weren't there, but I get it. Tell yourself, I'm very sorry that I allowed this erroneous belief to take root. Tell yourself that. Tell that child inside that. And I was mistaken about you. It is not God's will that we struggle with this belief nor the symptoms. Father, Mother, God, even if I feel amounts of shame, no longer, I'm open to this. The light shines upon it and I hand it all to you. I give you the erroneous beliefs about myself. I was mistaken. I am a holy child of God in whom God is well pleased. And it is not arrogant for me to say that. It's arrogant for me to say I'm not deserving. Who am I to say that when God says otherwise? If I'm made in God's perfect image, it is right and it's timely for me to own that. I am made in God's image, and now my commitment is to start acting like it, thinking like it, feeling like it. I am as God created me, and I will to be the Christ on earth. And with that commitment in my heart, above my heart center, a light, an opening takes place, and a light from the heavens begins to shine down. The way a dove descended upon Jesus, a light shines down into our hearts. And God saying, I am with you always. I am with you during your commitment. I'm even with you in the moments you fail and forget, but you won't be able to see me and feel me. So I recommend that you not forget so often. The light of God shines upon us. We are being bathed and baptized in the will of God. Breathe it in a couple of times. Breathe it in, fill your canteen, so to speak. Breathe it in, because you're going to be bringing this to earth. With your day-to-day relationships, struggles, doubts, breathe it in. We give heartfelt thanks for this experience. This is not a passive, casual visualization. This is a real experience. Mind, body, soul affected, because we're choosing two or more gathered with one great intention, and God's will then is done for ourselves and each other. And so it is. Just gradually stretch out a bit. How's everyone feeling? What did you learn or hear or feel or experience in today's talk that could make a difference in your life or the people around you, their lives? Yes, dear? When the veils appear, yeah. Any signs, symptoms, yeah, forgive yourself and others, absolutely. Yes?
You can do simple things out in the world without having a lot of money and so on. By we live in a world of such a dark world.
Yeah.
By building people up,
Yeah.
complimenting them.
That's right.
Being more positive.
In all the words, like you're saying, complimenting people, build people, the bottom line is help people feel that they have value. I don't mean enable their egos. They're doing hurtful things, saying hurtful things. Help their soul feel valuable, right? In whatever way you can. And there are times when I'm guided to somebody who's not looking like they deserve, quote unquote, that thing, because they're being really rude. But maybe they're that way because nobody's ever given them anything. Maybe they don't trust anybody. So when you do something really trippy like that, they're like, it causes a little question mark. And if they go to their grave with only that one question mark, it's a foot in the door that may change them forever. So do what you can, how you can, where you can, when you can. Anyone else? Yes?
Have patience with yourself and what tasks you need to done and done. If you face everything at once, you can do something. It's also a form of scarcity.
The fact that some people think they don't have enough to forgive, enough to give financially, is all one universal law called scarcity, which is rooted in I don't deserve, therefore I don't have. So I don't deserve, therefore I don't have. It's all scarcity consciousness. And it will prove itself. See, I can't afford to do. See, and they took advantage. And see, they never paid me back when I lent them money. Now you're affirming all the scarcity more and more and more. Try to see it differently. Try. I'm grateful. When I was early 20s, I moved away from home. I was already not living at home, but I moved states away. First family member to do that, so it was a little awkward and all that. But I didn't have much money at all. And there were days when I would go to the gas station, and this was a place where they still pumped gas in those days. God, I'm back to sounding like I rode Trigger, and stagecoach stories. But it's true. In this particular region, they still pumped gas in the car. It was mandatory. You weren't allowed to do your own. But they pumped the gas. So if I put $8, let's say, of gas, I just said keep the change, $2. It's not much. And part of me could even feel like embarrassed. No, you know what? It's all I had. So it was everything. And they would say, well, no, we're supposed to pump your gas. That's not the point. Just because you're supposed to pump the gas doesn't mean I don't appreciate it. $2 extra. You see? So even when I didn't have, now I'm not saying kids, and we will not be eating this week because I gave the stranger $2. You don't do things where you cause harm and then justify it, but where you can afford. And where you can't afford, if I were you, I would forgive myself for believing I didn't have enough to give. The adjustment's here. It's not waiting for the economy to change. Another hand was up somewhere over here. Yes, dear.
Somebody said this, I don't know who. We are not a drop in the ocean. We are the ocean in a drop.
Yes. And the way I describe that, reiterating it, is we think that we're a little dot in the universe. And I mean this. This isn't philosophical. The universe is actually a dot in our mind. We're still in God, and we had a thought to separate from God and create a place to go away to. Course in Miracles calls it in exile, from heaven. But we blasted out a universe, and it seems vast, and we're a little dot. We're actually, the whole universe is a dot, a belief in our mind. That's how amazing we are. We actually think, oh my God, I got a 20-cent raise at work. It's great that I did that seminar on how to manifest more money. And we think that's amazing. The workshop you went to that changed your life is actually a dot in your mind. You're greater than the motivational dude. You're greater than the billionaires of the planet. They're all just dreams. All of them are saying, and this is what life would be like if I did this, or if I did this, or this, or this. It's like a variety of universes. Each person is showing me a different universe that I could have chosen. Some of them were like, well, I'm glad I didn't choose you. And others, I wish I had you, but that's all idolatry because you're still thinking there's others. It's called schizophrenia. That you think there's billionaires and broke people, sick people and healthy people. No, there are none. They're all holograms. Oh my God, I retire all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being the billionaire. Thank you for being the impoverished person. Thank you for being healthy, unhealthy. I'm really sorry about all of that. It's all within me, and I can manifest and be anything right here in my own life and being. See, and that's what Jesus did. He didn't fix people's illnesses. He looked at a part of them where it was impossible to be sick and pulled it up. And it's really strange because he went through the motions, miracles and people, oh, that was amazing. But that's not the goal. He was trying to say to the best of them, do you understand what's happening here? That's why he would question some. Do you know who I am? Because he knew he could just wave a hand. They're fixed, 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 fixed. But that's not really what he wanted. What he wanted was for their consciousness to rise to a place where they can't be sick. So he would plant these seeds, and some of them got it. But I got to tell you, it's not easy, because when you get it, there's this very awkward thing that happens. Everything I thought I knew starts to become questioned. If sickness is suddenly an illusion, why did I just sneeze? Why do I have a cold? Now I'm conflicted. Should have just let me believe in colds and sickness. That's the surviving of this world. To be courageous enough to say, man, I know I'm heading for thriving, And on the way there, I'm heading for living. And living has no death. So I know better. And I'm letting all the old beliefs in death and limitation pass away. And whether it's comfortable or not, I'm going to focus on living. I believe in you. You can be looking all screwed up. I don't care. I believe in your soul. And your soul is mine. So we rise together. Two, always two or more gathered are the ones that get it. My praying for you, I'm one and you're one, doesn't actually bring the healing like people think it does. My joining with you saying, wow, isn't that a trip? We believed in broken legs and you manifested that today. I'm really sorry about that. Thanks for playing that out for us, but let's go back to love. Peace, brother, be healed. Oh, but I didn't see it heal right away. Shh. Stay out of the visual expectations of proof. Just know we experienced a healing. How do you know? Because I said so. When I chose God, I trust that it's happening. All right, thank you. We're going to just do our collection and closing prayer. So please just be as generous as you can be. I want to say some of you sent in some donations so that we can pay for some of the special projects. God bless you. One of you was so generous, you donated as much as all the others combined and even more. So God bless you, more than the other people. I'm kidding. The love and appreciation is equal for any amount that any of us donate towards these things. But we got the new doors, the hardware installed. That was several thousand, and so on. We're going to also receive and raise funds to paint the building. The corners got all worn down, and so we've got to repaint those, and we're going to put some money into that and some other things. So any extra donations you put in the baskets. The bags are for your standard donations, love offerings for today. All right? Please hold your love offering to your heart and be as generous as you can be. And remember, put this into your prayer, the belief. Together, please, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you. But thank you so much, guys, for being with us today. Thank you for the incredible array of topics. And I think we've reached them, most of them pretty well. I want to say a good friend, colleague, Alan Cohen, released a new book. It's called Miracles, actually. It's all his books. I swear he's one of the best authors, top 5 authors in terms of conveying information. As a spiritual teacher, he's in the top 3 that I've ever met, and I've met all of them. He's authentic. He's real. He's just a great dude. But his work with Course in Miracles is incredible, and we have a dozen copies that we received. They're in the bookstore there, so they can help you if you'd like to get one. But if you're into A Course in Miracles, definitely pick one up. But it's not exclusively for course students. All righty? All right. Thank you so much for being here. Please stand for our closing prayer. How are you feeling from what you gained, learned, experienced today? Good? Good, good, good. Isn't it something? Man. And this is not the skill of speech. This is the response to our commitment to God. We make God our priority, and this is the kind of experience we can have. The deepest relationships, the greatest jobs, everything ramped up because of our devotion to making God our guide. Of ourselves, little ego selves, we are nothing, and we have no interest in that. We call in the greatest. If you're watching online and you don't know the words, what's happening is we say something like, the light of God surrounds us, and they say we are the light of God. So they're affirming after I repeat something. Everybody, together, please. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we go, God is, I am, we are, and so it is. Peace be with you all. Thank you.